Continuing my discussion of the Georgia indictment, here's a statement by a fellow named Stuart Stevens. This is basically a RICO indictment of the Republican Party, as it should be. The whole Republican Party is under indictment, evidently. So you can see here that when many of us say that this is an effort not just to go after Trump or even the immediate people around Trump, it's an effort to go after the political opposition. Basically, it's an effort to create a one-party state. Only one party is legitimate for democracy, protecting democracy. The other party is against democracy. Now, I saw Jonathan Turley on television a day or so ago, and he was saying, look, these are people who this indictment essentially culls together a whole bunch of actions that were undertaken in many cases separately. You have a tweet over here, a phone call over here, a meeting over there, a speech over here, and all of this is kind of pulled together. This is a criminal conspiracy, as if to say that these independent actions, obviously independent actions toward a similar goal. And the goal is, of course, challenging the legitimacy of the election result in Georgia. But look at the stuff that's in the indictment as an act of illegality, an act in, quote, furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 128, this is from the indictment. On about the 5th day of January, Donald John Trump caused to be tweeted from the Twitter account, "The vice president has the power to reject fraudulently chosen electors," end quote. This was an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. What? That the vice president has the right to reject fraudulent electors. Well, you might think the vice president doesn't have that constitutional right, but whether you do or not, where's the conspiracy? Who wants fraudulent electors to be casting votes? And yet, here it's presented as an illegal act. Act 32. On or about the 6th day of December 2020, Donald John Trump caused to be tweeted from the Twitter account, Real Donald Trump, quote, "Gee, what a surprise. Has anyone informed the so-called," quote, says he has no power to do anything, Governor Brian Kemp and his puppet, Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, that they could easily solve this mess and win signature verification and call a special session? So easy. So what is Trump saying here? He's saying, hey, Brian Kemp, hey, Lieutenant Governor Duncan, you may not do this. This is what you should do. Call a special session and verify the signatures. Check out the signatures on the ballot to make sure they're legit. This is a criminal act? What? And yet, quote, this was an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. So it goes. I mentioned yesterday that Act 22, Donald Trump tweets out, quote, "Georgia hearings now on OANN, One America News Network." Amazing. Quote, this was an act in furtherance of the conspiracy. And then it goes on. David Schaefer is reserving a room for a meeting. Mark Meadows is sending a text message to a congressman in Pennsylvania saying, I want the number for the speaker and the leader of the Pennsylvania legislature. This is supposed to be part of this conspiracy in Georgia. Now, I want to say a word about this whole RICO business, because RICO requires a criminal organization. La Cosa Nostra, the mafia. You have a criminal organization, and there's no criminal organization here. You've got basically a bunch of people on a campaign, and they're trying to challenge, they're trying to investigate, they're demanding signature verification. They believe they won the state of Georgia, and they're fighting to get that belief vindicated. By and large, in a RICO statute, you have to have all these acts, and some of the acts by themselves can be innocent, opening a bank account, crossing the street, and so on, but they have to be acts in furtherance of an illegal, quote, predicate act. So there has to be a crime at the center of the whole thing. And what's the crime here? What is the crime? What is the center? Even find me the votes is not a crime. Find me the votes is a demand that the Georgia Secretary of State, under his own authority and through his own discretion, look at the votes and see if Trump's claims are accurate or not. That's not a crime. And so how can all these other acts in furtherance of helping Trump, let's just say, prevail in Georgia, be crimes? Where's the criminal organization? What is the criminal conclusion that these people are trying to achieve? And how can you include in this lawyers who are advising their client about ways that they can go about these challenges? That's the job of a lawyer. Remember, lawyers even defend people who are guilty, defend people who have confessed to their crimes. And what do lawyers try to do? Get them the least sentence, in some cases even get them off if they can, be advocates for their client. And yet here they are, people like Jenna Ellis and others, facing charges of being part of this criminal conspiracy. It is outrageous. Debbie and I gained some weight during COVID. We didn't want to join the fat affirmation movement. We said, let's lose some weight. And thankfully, PhD Weight Loss came to our rescue. Debbie's already lost 24 pounds. I've lost 27. We are now both on maintenance. The program is based on science and nutrition. No injections, no pills, no long hours in the gym, no severe calorie restriction, just good, sound, scientifically proven nutrition. It's so simple. They make it easy by providing 80% of your food at no additional cost. They tell you when and what to eat. And guess what? You can do this without ever being hungry. The founder, Dr. Ashley Lucas, has her PhD in chronic disease and sports nutrition. She's also a registered dietitian. She helps people lose weight and, most importantly, maintain that weight loss for life. So if you're ready to take the step of losing weight like Debbie and I have, call PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition. Here's the number, 864-644-1900. You can also find them online at myphdweightloss.com. The number again to call, 864-644-1900.